Vintage Tag Team Champions. And you're watching Front Row Fanatics.
Alright, good evening, independent wrestling fans. Welcome once again to another fantabulous edition of the Front Row Fanatics. I'm one of your hosts, the Gargoyle, sporting some spiffy new Simon Says gear. And on my left is my tag team partner, the most interesting man in the world,
Cheech.
And on the other hand, on the right, is the other member of our six-man World Tag Team Champion, OG Front Row Fanatic, the one, the only, the legend, the mighty PainLord. So, with that being said, we are going to do a review of Vintage Wrestling's WrestleBrawl 4 that took place on January 19, 2013 at the Sanford, Florida Salvation Army Gymnasium. With that being said, I'll turn it over to the most interesting man in the world, Cheech.
Yes, yes. We do have a good bit of shows that we went to, or events. We actually did a small tour for going away.
The Farewell to Cheech tour, man. I'm bummed done.
So we're going to kind of not whip through them, but we're going to try to get them all in there and just bear with us there. But the first one we went to was in Sanford, Florida. Vintage Wrestling, WrestleBrawl 4. Great venue, awesome fan participation in the whole show as well. They started the match, or the show off with the first match of the son of legend Larry Zbyszko, Tim Zbyszko versus Chico Adams and versus Hess Express. Actually, this was a tag match.
Well,
right?
Yeah, what was that?
No, it was a three single. What do you call it?
Oh, triple threat.
Triple threat.
Okay.
And it was actually a dark match. They considered it a dark match. It started like 25 minutes before
Was
the
the
show.
crowd popper to get everybody fired up. But to say the least, it was a good match, a good way to start the show. Tim Zbyszko did come away with the win on that, and like I said, it was a good way to get the show fired off and get the crowd hyped up and ready to go. Followed that match was Shooter Storm versus Wayne Van Dyke, who really have kind of been battling throughout Florida in several promotions as well. Well, Wayne Van Dyke did get the win over Shooter Storm.
That was for Wayne Van Dyke. Wayne Van Dyke always comes out there and does that. He's a monster, a beast.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Shooter worked with him and trained him, or if they actually trained together, but somehow they've got some kind of history going there within the business, not just you know, as a storyline, but actually
I know they've worked together at various promotions, and the last time that Calvin and I had traveled down to St. Petersburg for the IPW Hardcore Resurrection reunion, they were tag team partners against those two monster guys, the Shane twins, which we called the Cheech twins, man.
Yeah, they look like you.
And they demolished them, but you know, two smaller guys, though entertaining, you know, something else different, change of pace to get the crowd slowly getting hyped up and pumped up for the show.
Now, Shooter Storm's come a long way. You know, I don't know if you know, if anybody in our fan base has seen him recently, but the guy has really gotten himself into shape, still working on himself, but he's looking better and better every time we see him.
I personally like Wayne Van Dyke. If he was a close personal friend of mine, I would take him fishing. That's how much I like him.
Damn! And not to mention, Shooter Storm has also been on Jerry Springer, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, there you go. You've got a wide variety of things involving both these two guys, you know, in the second match of the show. Entertaining match nonetheless, with Wayne Van Dyke getting the Duke. So.
Absolutely. Which, following that match, was one of my favorites, I think one of our favorites in general, is Lindsay Dorado versus Eric Cooper. This match was just, I mean, it was great for me. I like watching Lindsay Dorado. Yeah, he flies all over. Hits just about every, you know, I haven't personally seen him do a missed spot, so he's really good at what he does. And unfortunately, Eric Cooper did get the win over Lindsay, but you know, there's always next time.
Lindsay is so good. If he did miss a spot, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
So
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, while we're talking about that, on the Gulf Coast, he is coming to SWA in April, so the local fans will get a chance to see and taste the talent of Lindsay Dorado, and definitely, you know, make that show and check him out. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. And I believe if everything works out right, he's going to be going up against Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty Ray.
Scotty Ray.
That is
So
going to be a match.
that's going to be something you definitely want to see. So check it out.
The perfect 10, Lindsay Dorado, former Chikara star, member of the BDK. He's well traveled, not just amongst Florida, but all around the country and the world. You know, love the guy, enjoy his work. Gulf Coast fans, you won't be disappointed when he's at the SWA show. Unfortunately, shabby officiating and cheating, you know, allowed the Jersey bad boy Eric Cooper to get the Duke against the perfect 10, Lindsay Dorado. But nonetheless, always a pleasure to watch Lindsay Dorado work, man. He's a phenomenal talent.
Absolutely. Now, following that match was the start and birth of the hashtag Steel Horsing, which put it up Steel Horse Vachon versus Tommy Taylor. With Tommy Taylor getting the win, but that was the match, the birth of hashtag Steel Horsing, which I think that video's got what now? Yeah, you better call 911.
I don't call the cops because I'm not a puss like Steel Horse.
Yeah, that guy's really really ruined his career for himself. I can tell you that right now. And you know, it looks like he had some good things going too. So I don't know what the hell he was thinking, what was going through his mind, what happened with that. It just doesn't make any sense. But you know, as a fan, you would have never known any of this happened. You know, we heard it happen. Of course, the fire trucks were there, police cars showed up, ambulance, fire trucks, all that showed up. So we knew something was going on.
We thought it was for Jethro, which was the next match.
Right.
Yeah. We thought they were coming to get him and taking him back home, but
and we were firsthand right there in the front row, and Steel Horse Vachon has the physical presence, he has the look, he has the ability, and you know, this match was a good match.
Absolutely.
Entertaining until he got over there and got the slobber knocked out of him on Calvin and Cheech's feet right there.
That spit came flying down, and I got to zoom in.
You know, and I was totally shocked after the show to find out that, you know, the phenomena of Steel Horsing was born after this match. Tommy Taylor, you know, a consummate professional. He's been in FIP. Him and his partner Christopher Gray were the, I believe, the British Lions, who were the ROH World Tag Team Champions. Consummate professional. A good match between these two guys. Sad to say that it ended that way, but you know, a very enjoyable match, you know. And unfortunately, the phenomenon of Steel Horsing was born, and life goes on.
That's right. Trending worldwide on Twitter the next day.
That's right. And the video is gathering views by
last time we looked. Was it over 30,000 hits or worked its way?
20,000.
Over 20,000.
Unbelievable how it just went viral on, you know, overnight. It was just unbelievable. But I do got to commend how, you know, regardless of that, Tommy was professional through the whole match. You know, they were still went through to the finish. You know, Tommy did get the win on it, but it's just amazing that something like that would happen. But like I said, as a normal fan sitting there, if you didn't see what was going on outside, you'd have never known anything happened, because it wasn't just, you know, they didn't just stop the match. It's not like you ran in the back right away in the middle of the match and did it or anything.
Right. He worked the whole match all the way through to the finish. And what's sad is you come to find out this guy, Steel Horse, was actually trained by Devon Dudley and had been used as a masked member of Aces and Eights, and apparently was going to be offered a contract as a member of Aces and Eights and added to the TNA roster until the fiasco of Steel Horsing cost him that chance.
Absolutely. A start of who knows what career, but looked like it was headed in a good direction and just threw it away over nonsense. Just unbelievable what kind of people you've got, I guess, in this business, or, you know, what would possess somebody to do something like that. You're in this business, and it happens all the time.
And it's a physical demanding business too, man, you know, so.
He got his feelings hurt, and he's not, I guess he's not thick-skinned because the
Went off script. I mean,
He must have got more of his feelings hurt because he acted like a bitch and called the police,
Right.
man.
We don't know what happened in the back, but I bet you them boys were probably ragging him before. But we heard the story, I mean, the way he was treating when he walked in.
Yeah, total disrespect to Tommy Taylor, who is a professional and who has been around the world, you know. Apparently Steel Horse was blowing him off on the phone, didn't want to discuss the match, and just totally disrespected, you know, whether it was
a title from, was it Bronx Wrestling Federation, so he went in there with a big head, you know, I'm the champ, blah, blah, blah.
And this belt apparently was a replica of the vintage heavyweight belt too, which didn't help matters, you know, any further by bringing in this belt that looked like the vintage heavyweight title belt without permission by the owners and promoters of Vintage too. So, you know, to me, he got what he asked for and he got what he deserved. You know, you want to walk in there with a big head and stir the shit, you know, you got bitch slapped by Tommy Taylor, who's a professional, who handled the match properly, and now Steel Horse, you're the whooped pussy pony or whatever. So I don't think we'll be seeing you anytime.
You know what I think about after all this? I think about, let's just think about the guys involved. Corey Chavis, for instance, who you got, so Simon Says, Mike Cruz, all those other guys down there. If I'm new to the area or if I've been there for a long time, I don't want to get on their bad side. They will fuck you over. You will be blacklisted from Florida and the Southeast, if not the entire United States.
And apparently, if you've been following the trend on Twitter and on Facebook, Steel Horse, you're not gonna. You might as well add your name to that thing. You're not getting booked. Simple as that, man. You know.
Yeah, the main guy on that.
You know somebody's going to book him. There'll be some backyard promotion somewhere like, oh, this is the Steel Horse guy. Come here, everybody. All these backwoods people, they'll come here. You know, pay some.
Yeah, he deleted his Facebook account, his Twitter. He's basically disappeared off the face of the earth, which, you know, it's probably a smart move, but the whole idea in general was just not smart. What a way to kill a career.
He's going to lose weight and move to Portland and become a cruiserweight wrestler.
Grow some hair, shave his beard.
And it's sad because the guy had some ability and was gaining momentum. I had heard nothing but good things about him from the other promotions that he had worked around, you know, and like I said, he delivered a solid match working with Tommy Taylor until the infamous incident, but anyway.
And Tommy's got some good media. He's done a lot of interviews, really good, respectable interviews. He wasn't up there bashing the guy.
No.
Just explaining what happened in his side, being real humble about it, and really being a professional, even though that it happened. So real impressed. I've heard a couple of them. So, you know, and on that belt thing, I've heard through just other, you know, gossip, I guess you can say, was he didn't have permission. He went straight to the announcer and told him what to say, and it was kind of a surprise to everybody when it was said. So just a crazy ordeal altogether.
Sean the Flash wouldn't have let that happen.
No, absolutely.
I hear you. But if the Flash would have been in the ring, he'd have bitch slapped him like he did MSL there, you know, at Best of the Best. Into that, man. We got some love for Sean the Flash, but the key word for Tommy Taylor is professional.
That's right. That's right. But after that match came out Oliver Grimsley, which was it the Freak Show? Was that what they call that there?
He's like the circus.
Yeah, Oliver Grimsley, who went up against Death Row Jethro, which, you know, if you've ever seen Death Row Jethro come out, it's a big ordeal. The guy's just plainly insane and crazy. But Oliver, for being a small guy, he's just ripped up, you know. That's the worst thing I seen when he come out. Man, he was a small dude, but then he turned around, he's got six-pack abs and just cut all over, but he is small.
He gets around. He's been around.
Well-conditioned athlete and wrestler, well-traveled, who goes all over the place. But, you know, I believe he met his match there in Death Row Jethro. The size and the ferocity of Jethro's attack just was too much for Oliver Grimsley, you know, and
This was the gimmick match of the show. I mean, of all these matches, this was the gimmick match. It is what it is.
Yep. And right after this match, I believe. No, actually, it wasn't after this match. But anyway, Death Row Jethro did get the win over Oliver Grimsley, and I don't know. That's the first time I've seen him. I know you guys probably seen him before, but the guy's insane. As soon as he got the pin, that wasn't enough. He wanted to try to eat the guy's brains out or something. And they had to get security on, handcuff him, and escort him back out to the van to go back to the prison or whatever. But God, that guy's crazy. I would not want to be in that locker room with him, man. Jesus.
I would potentially like to see him wrestle Death Row from our area. That would be an interesting matchup. Or they could form a tag team and be quite formidable, but nonetheless.
Absolutely. So after that came up the big vintage tag team wrestling three-way tag match, which was a tables, ladders, and chairs match as well, which pitted up Beast Mode, who are the current champions, Biff Slater and Don Maximo, with the manager of The Voice, Justin Michaels, going up against Team Lucha, which is Jay Rios and Jay Cruz, with Leva Bates versus Simon Says and Milo Beasley, which, you know, these guys beat the living hell out of one another. This tables, ladders, and chairs match. I think Simon probably got it the worst. I mean, he had to be carried out and didn't hear nothing from him for a while, and then he finally got his composure back and came back out and
if you like
worked
weapons match, tables, ladders, and chairs, you have to watch this match.
Yep.
It's everything and more. They were all over the place. Leva Bates was in there doing shit. It
Hell
was
yeah.
just pure chaos. If you like it chaos, watch this match.
Well, you know, not just
controlled chaos.
Yeah, that's where I was
not in a bad
organized chaos. It's not like you see some of these. You look like some old XPW videos where they're out there in the dirt rodeo arena, you know, with a swimming pool full of shit and, you know, all this other crap. It was a well done tables, ladders, and chairs match between 6 guys that went out there and put their bodies on the line to entertain this pretty large crowd here at that vintage, which I'm sure was 300 plus.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't count because I was too busy drinking beer and having fun, you know, and enjoying the show. But, you know, 6 talented guys that went out there, and 7 if you add Leva and not a guy.
And then Michaels.
You know, Justin Michaels, you know, as controversial as he is, he was involved in the match too. Awesome match. Awesome match, and all participants are to be commended. And Simon and Milo Beasley ended up getting the Duke and snatching the belts away from Beast Mode and The Voice, Justin Michaels, much to the delight of the capacity crowd there at the Sanford Gymnasium. So, you know, once again, great match, you know.
Absolutely, and you know, of course, Justin Michaels ain't happy about it, and
he was involved in that match too, physically. Yeah. That's what really gets me over with the match is everybody took a physical toll on everybody. The violence that everybody in that match endured for our entertainment was off the chain.
Yes, it really was. You know, what these guys put their bodies through to entertain us. You know, I commend them every time I see them. I shake their hand, tell them thanks. And it's just amazing what they do. But this match right here was probably one of the best, if not the best, tables and ladders and chairs match that I have ever seen.
You know what?
Say that.
When we caught up with one of the Ben-Day hosts recently, and we asked him which one of these matches was his favorite, because he was in the first tables, ladders, and chairs match at Best of the Best. We asked him which one was your favorite, the first one or the second one. Which one did he say?
Well, he said this one at Vintage, which, you know, Best of the Best was an ASW promoted event.
Right.
Yep.
But they had 4 teams in that first ladder match, which you can check at, you know, Calvin's YouTube account and judge for yourself. There was 4 teams, and that was insane, and that started that show. But they said this one was better due to the fact that there was one less team, which gave them more room to maneuver and perform. But, you know, off the chain, you know, like I said, they're all to be commended for laying their bodies out there on the line to entertain the fans, man. I mean, it was just awesome.
Yes, it was. And like I said, we got the videos, of course, lordsofpain.net, YouTube, or LOP Calvin, however you want to search it. It'll definitely pop up. Check it out. Great footage of this match. You know, that's one of the things too is when you have a lot of guys like this in a match, sometimes it's hard to follow with the video, but you can tell by the video of the organization of the actual chaos, that it was just put together well, and really all-around excellent match. The guys did great, and I know they had to feel that. And some of these guys had to travel for another event on the next night that probably did the same thing again, put their bodies through hell.
They
Just
went up
unbelievable.
that Sunday night. They went up to Warner Robins for Rampage.
At least a third of the card traveled the next morning and went to Rampage Pro Wrestling in Georgia for another show.
Yeah,
so
the next morning we could barely get up.
Yeah,
I heard them getting up.
Yeah, we didn't get beat up.
We were just suffering from all that heat I was bringing, man. You know how
Gargoyle got beat up on the internet. You get still horse.
That's okay, baby. I ain't scared.
But this is the match where everything showed up. They were getting ready to clean up from this match, and then all the cops and everything showed up, and all that went down. But they didn't take long to clean the match up and get right into the next match, which was Bruce Santee, the marquee Bruce Santee versus MDK. What's MDK stand for? I can't remember, but that's what he goes by.
I don't remember it either.
But anyway,
I don't have a clue.
Both of these guys are huge. Bruce Santee is big, just a beast. MDK is just ripped from neck to feet. I mean, the guy is huge. But these two going up against each other is just, I would not want to be in the middle of these two by no means.
My opinion of this match, it was really great. It was just, it came after the TLC match, so
yeah, it's hard to top something like that.
Right, the crowd had exhausted, trying to regain it. It was a great match. It was just hard to, like I said, follow up on. It was maybe bad placement, but where else are you going to put them? I mean, the whole show was really good.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, these two guys, like I said, I would not want to be the third person in a triple threat with these guys.
I mean, when I think of Bruce Santee, he's probably in my top 3 guys in Florida.
And he's another guy that should be on TV instead of half the shitbags that the WWE have on TV and some of the guys that TNA have on TV too. This is a legitimate physical specimen who has the ability to get out in the ring and not only kick ass, but wrestle a good high quality match. And MDK, this was my first time seeing him live. I've watched some video, and these two guys put on a hell of a match too, But as both PainLord and Cheech stated, it's hard following up after that TLC match. But Bruce Santee is a beast. He's not afraid of anybody walking, talking in the state or anywhere. He will get in the ring and do battle with anyone. MDK, I hope to see more of him so I can form a better opinion of him.
Yeah.
But once again, another stellar, high-quality match at the Vintage WrestleBrawl 4 show. So
absolutely. Bruce Santee did get the win over MDK, but
it was a tough battle.
Yes.
I think after the match, he shook his hand, he respected him, so he did good.
Absolutely. And Bruce Santee should be, in my opinion, the NWA heavyweight champion. Sorry, but he should be.
I agree with that.
He should be. But following that match came up Rocky Santiago versus CB Slade, who I've seen Rocky Santiago several times. CB Slade's a newcomer, well, new to us, but he's actually from the Panama City area, so it was kind of neat to chat and watch somebody kind of from our area, so to speak, even though he's in the military and he's just based there. But he lives in Panama City, and he actually travels to these other promotions because he knows it's going to be good for him to work in these quality areas. And we sat down and talked with him a little bit. Unfortunately, he didn't get to win, but Rocky Santiago, that's a hard one to get the win on.
Rocky's got a couple of years on him. Not that Rocky's a veteran by any means, but to him, to Slade, he's got a couple of years on him.
More experienced guy, good match. And, like I said, Rocky is constantly improving. He's another guy that travels all over the place, too. CB Slade acquitted himself quite admirably in this match. And like you said, the thing that impressed me most was, here's a guy who's from our area, but he's being booked down here in Vintage. On WrestleBrawl, their #1 event, the big show of the year, which shows not only does he have ability, but he's got, brains that he's searching out other places to work to get maximum exposure for himself.
Absolutely. But Rocky did get the win, but of course, like I said, what do you expect? Rocky Santiago is packing a punch and has got what it takes to get the Duke just over just about anybody in this business.
I wanted to say about Rocky Santiago. it's in wrestling. It's so easy to get over as a bad guy. It's very hard to get over as a good guy. And Rocky Santiago, at the shows we've been seeing him in the past year and a half, he is a good guy. He gets over, and he just very
popular face. You know, like you said, it's hard to get over as the face.
Right.
Easy to draw heat as the heel. You know, but Rocky is a guy that's well liked by the crowd and has the ability to deliver in the ring.
And well, I'm going to touch on him more in the next show, the next review.
Okay. The following that match was Get Big Mike Cruz versus Vordell Walker, who's one of my favorites. I'm a big time mark for Vordell Walker. And both of these guys are great. Mike Cruz is, he's not tiny, but he's little. And when I first saw it come out, him standing next to Vordell, I'm like, man, you know, he's fixing to get his ass whooped, basically. But God, this was a good match too. Really good match. Mike Cruz can dance with just about anybody. Of course, Vordell Walker, I can watch him day after day after day. These guys mesh well with each other. I'm sure they probably have worked each other many times, and you can tell because they damn sure can put on like a dance in there.
I don't know if they, I mean, maybe behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Going in, we were expecting high expectations of this match, and it delivered.
Yep.
You know, and they've been on, I know they've been on a lot of shows together. I know they been on Best of the Best. They've been on some PWX, I believe, that we've seen. This particular show, WrestleBrawl.
Right.
So, you know, they get around, so I'm sure they've got some working experience together. But Mike Cruz, he's another guy that is going to be appearing on the SWA card on the 27th of April in Crestview. So another guy that Gulf Coast fans haven't seen. There's going to get a chance to see another really talented guy. And I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe he's wrestling the Master of Devastation, Cameron Frost, in this match. Yeah. So I'm expecting another quality match from this guy. Mike Cruz is awesome. He travels all over the state of Florida, Georgia, up to New York, all over the place. So he's not a guy that just hangs out in one little spot. He's ripped. He's got cardio. He can go 60 minutes easy, you know. So
he's humble. I like that.
Yes,
he is.
Very nice guy. You couldn't ask for a better guy, and an appreciative guy who thanks you for coming out every time he sees you at a show, for supporting him and indie wrestling and everything. And I believe, once again, as we said with Lindsay Dorado, also, Gulf Coast fans are going to be in for a treat watching Mike Cruz perform at the SWA.
You know, I was just thinking about that, about Mike Cruz's character. As many shows as we've seen him at, I mean, you always think of good guys and bad guys, but when I watch Mike Cruz wrestle, I don't even think about good guys and bad guys. I think about, like, watching wrestling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This guy can go.
Yep, I'd agree.
Who cares about good guys and bad guys?
And like I was saying, when I first seen them, because of the size difference, you know, I was kind of, you know, just some thoughts going around in my head. But, you know, Mike Cruz did get to win, forcing Vordell Walker to tap out.
And that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, Vordell is a beast, and he travels from coast to coast, east to west, north and south, up and down, and everywhere in between. And Vordell Walker, he is a pro wrestler, who is another guy who should be on TV instead of half the shitbags the WWE and TNA have got on TV.
He would be the one with Bruce Santee, Vordell Walker,
you know. Another guy needs to be on TV. Put him on Gut Check. Get rid of some of these shitbags that are these old over-the-hill guys like Hogan, for God's sake. Why are you paying that piece of shit? He's just killing TNA when you got a quality guy like Vordell Walker with a good attitude that would come out there and work his ass off to make your product better, and you're paying this old crippled.
You could get 3 or 4 great indie guys.
I love watching Vordell Walker wrestle. He could wrestle anybody, and it would be a good match. He can carry the worst, and it would make a good match. I mean, it's just a delight to watch him wrestle.
And not only that, if you put him in with a quality opponent, it's even better. You know, like we saw him at the PWX show last year, go 30 minutes with Too Cold Scorpio, which, you know, people questioned whether Scorpio had what it took to go. Awesome match, you know. Vordell Walker is a beast, you know. But on this night, he had to tap out, and Mike Cruz got the Duke. So
I think Cruz got lucky. If there is a rematch, I'd like to see it.
Indeed.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what the lineup is for the next show. I think they got it posted on Vintage Wrestling's Facebook page, so definitely check it out. Which brings us up to the main event of the evening, which was the Vintage Heavyweight Champion Francisco Chiazzo versus Corey Chavis from the Dark City Fight, one half of the Dark City Fight Club.
Going in, Francisco was champion.
Yes, yeah. Francisco had the belt, and actually Chiazzo got the pin, but unfortunately Chavis had his foot on the rope, but the ref didn't see it.
Right.
But higher up management seen it and says, no, this is not going to happen on our biggest event of the year. This, it's not going to go down like this. All the fans saw it. They asked for the fans' opinion. They saw it. Like I said, it's not going to happen. They restarted the match, and Corey did end up winning with the pin, which was well earned and well deserved. So that was another match.
Punk.
Never heard of those guys.
Yeah.
Never heard of those guys.
It's funny for Simon for them stealing his ideas.
That's right. They're stealing Simon's ideas, man.
Yeah. But Corey Chavis did walk away with being the new champ of Vintage Wrestling, and in my opinion, it was well deserved. However he got it. So it was fair and square because his foot was on a rope. We seen it. Sorry, Chiazzo, but it is what it is. But these guys are actually, I do know that these guys are going for a rematch on the next event at Vintage Wrestling's. I think it's End of the Line or something like that.
Yeah, I believe it's on the 16th of February at the Salvation Army Gym. If you can make it there to Sanford, Florida, check it out. Highly recommend that you check out Vintage Wrestling. Unfortunately, with our good buddy Cheech moving and Calvin has prior commitments, we're not going to be able to make that show, but I highly recommend that you check out Vintage Wrestling. A well-run, promotion, quality matches, good talent all the way around. And Francisco Chiazzo, also another Central Florida guy who's going to be on the SWA show there on April 27th in Crestview. We do not know at this moment who he's going to be wrestling in or what type of match, but he's another guy, well-traveled, up and down the coast, of Florida, Georgia, goes to New York, wrestles all over. He's a solid pro
Francisco
wrestler.
is the king of Florida.
Yes,
he
is.
I mean, he promotes himself better than anybody out there right now.
He is definitely a working man's pro wrestler. He puts the time in to promote not only himself, whatever show he's working on, and indie wrestling in general.
You know what? That reminds me of something. We always hear about Frank Goodman talking about if you're on the show, help promote it. And we see that time and time again, but I don't see that a lot from a lot of the guys. But Francisco sure does. He supports everybody he's on better than anybody else.
He does. If you book him, not only you're getting a great indie worker or a great wrestler,
tons of followers too.
But, yeah, he's got a fan base that's huge, and he's going to promote your show.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for? I mean,
free advertising.
Great wrestler, going to add something to your card, and to begin with. Then he's going to promote it for you, and he's got a great following that he's going to bring people with him as well. So
he's special. I like him a lot. He reminds me. His look reminds me of Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, I can see that.
And his in-ring work, I can't even compare who. But it's great.
To me, his style goes more minus the suplexes of Taz as far as his physical stature and a physical, rough, aggressive style. He's not the human suplex machine, but like you said, you book Francisco Chiazzo, you're going to get talent, a guy who's going to work hard in the ring, he's going to work hard and promote the show, and you'll get your money's worth with him.
He's so crisp. Everything he does it's just awesome. It's like a well-oiled machine, just watching it go.
Yeah. I agree. Let's do a match of the night for Vintage Wrestling WrestleBrawl 4.
Match of the night. Are we doing a runner-up also?
Can.
All right, yeah, we can do that. Well,
we pick 1 and 2.
All right, well, Cheech, you go ahead. You go first, dude.
I'm gonna go. Match of the night for me is gonna be the TLC match with Simon and Milo Beasley winning the belts, and my runner-up is gonna have to be Mike Cruz and Bordeaux Walker for me.
All right, for myself, once again, I will agree with you that the tables, ladders, and chairs triple threat match there was match of the night. For me, for the runner-up, I'm going to go in a different direction, and I'm going to go with Steel Horse Bashan and Tommy Taylor. Despite the fact that all the bullshit came on, that was a solid, quality, excellent match.
Okay, like them, I agree also that the tables, ladders, and chair match is the match of the night. My runner-up match of the night, despite being right after the TLC match, I liked it. Bruce Santee and MDK. All right.
You couldn't lose with any of the matches in this show.
It was hard to pick. Francisco, Corey.
Really, the whole show was match of the night.
I mean,
it really was a great show from top to bottom.
I wouldn't even call it throwaway. The gimmick match, the whole show was great.
It really was.
I'm glad we was there to witness it. I'm glad we was there. The bird is still horsing. I'm glad we were just a part of everything.
You know, and this was a well-run professional wrestling show. You know, you had a solid card, 10 matches, good top-notch talent. You know, they had gimmick tables. You go to Vintage, buy your Simon Says t-shirts now. Hashtag puts asses in the seats. You know, Simon is God. You know, food was good, you know, well lit. They treated us like royalty there, man. I have nothing but good things to say about the people at Vintage Wrestling, man, you know. And one of the things I liked is they appreciated and they made it a point to come to us after the show and express their appreciation, how much that it meant to them that we drove as far as we did, and we stopped, we picked up our good buddy Wild Man Russ in Jacksonville. To bring down with us.
Tim.
No, that's in a different show. But
Tim was on this show.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. He did the Tim thing there too, man. He loves him some Tim Zabisco.
Yeah.
But you know, they made it a point to come out there and express their appreciation, the fact that we drove as far as we did, and we come out to support Vintage Wrestling, and we film the matches and we do reviews and everything. And for that, you know, we thank you for showing your appreciation. We thank you for the way that you treated us and made us feel at home and welcome, and you can rest assured that we will be back to Vintage Wrestling, you know.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I highly recommend anybody down in Central Florida, you get a chance, go check out Vintage Wrestling in Sanford. It's definitely well worth the money. You know, top-notch talent, well-run show. What more can you say?
I can't say that I saw every promotion in the state, but I saw a good bit of them, and they are right there at the top.
And this is not just because it was their biggest event of the year. These guys run a top-notch show every month.
You know,
you hear it from other fans that go on a regular basis. You see it on the internet. It's no secret. So it's not just because this was their biggest event of the year that it was a great show.
You can check out the 911wrestling.com board and check it out. We post their poster and flyers. You can see who's on the shows.
Vintage is not just promoted on 911 and Lords of Pain. You can go to any wrestling website. Any section. They're at the top of those sections.
They are up there, and they are definitely pushing themselves and working hard to become the dominant promotion in the state of Florida. So once again, I want to say hats off to everybody at Vintage, everybody on the roster, even Steel Horse, man.
Yeah.
You know, you went out there and gave it all in a good hard match. You know, excellent show top to bottom. You know, what more can I say? It was awesome. Definitely worth the drive.
He just didn't realize it was his retirement match.
Justin Martin, you suck.
That's right, baby. That's right. Hey, watch out, Little B's looking for you, man.
You want to take a quick break and we'll be right back, or what?
Yes.
Do we got anything else we need to talk about this, or should we take a break and prepare for the next review?
When's the next show?
February 16th, end of the line, Sanford Armory, or Sanford National Guard, not National Guard, look, I'm drinking beer.
Yeah.
Sanford Salvation Army Gymnasium. Sorry, I'll get it right. Yeah.
Get them on, like them on Facebook. They got Vintage Wrestling Florida, Vintage Florida on Facebook, and they got Vintage Florida also on Twitter, at Vintage Wrestling or at Vintage Florida.
What's the website? Is it VintageWrestling.com?
VintageWrestling.com, yes.
That's right. So there you go. Plenty of information to check out one of the top quality promotions in Florida. You know, videos, that will be on Calvin's YouTube account, LOP Calvin.
They're not going anywhere. They're there.
That's right. They'll be there. Check them out. You can also check out the Wrestling911.com. They also have matches and stuff too. Definitely check out Vintage. Well worth it. With that being said, we're going to take a break, and as we customarily end every review with that, we'll see you in the front row.